Hey everyone, I think I need to hire my mom to, as she gives me valuable content. Just got off the phone and she is the inspiration behind today. I say that, but it's also a very painful and serious topic, not only for her, but for many others that have a very difficult time recognizing thoughts that can be very paralyzing because there's so much fear involved, and the limited thinking creates a really tight loop. And for someone like my mom, it takes someone with a level of awareness and insight to help her create some space so that she can begin to see what she's doing to herself. And so let's talk about the pain point with it first. Most of us, or most, let me think how I want to say this, because I don't want to give the impression that I never have any negative thoughts or limited thoughts. But there is, I truly believe, a threshold that can be crossed to where you feel free, to where you can be an observer of those painful thoughts quicker, sooner, and faster than during those times of being so entrenched in them. And a lot of people, including my mom in this situation, she was in a lot of pain and anxiety, and it was centered around thoughts she was telling herself, and she just kept ruminating over these thoughts, and it was creating a lot of fear and embarrassment about an upcoming medical appointment she has tomorrow. And so anyway, when the anxiety hits really hard with all of these looping thoughts, she becomes paralyzed. The speech begins to get slower, and just a lot of not being able to think clearly and shutting down. One of the things that, in building that relationship, of course, I have a trust with mom. I can give her feedback and ask her, and I asked her, I said, do you realize how much pain you are creating for yourself by staying fixed on these thoughts that are not true? You're the only one that believes they're true. And she said, if I could realize that I'm the one doing this, she said that would be so relieving. I said, well, Mom, you are. And here's the physiology behind this. I was sharing this with one of my clients the other day, and I love this real simple analogy. And I don't know that we realize that we are our own bartenders all the time. And so when we have thoughts release chemicals in our body, and it creates a feeling that matches our thought. And so we get this chemistry started circulating throughout our body, and sometimes our thoughts and our feelings are good and light and life-giving, and other times our thoughts are very, very toxic and painful. And that creates a drink that is very, very painful to our body. And so we have these painful feelings. And if we drink too much, we can become addicted to our own drink, so to speak, that we're mixing for ourselves. And that's what happened unknowingly to Mom. She was creating these, she had these thoughts. I don't even say she created the thoughts. She had the thoughts. She took them on as her own, thought that she had to believe them, and it was starting to create a lot of pain and a lot of cycles of reoccurring pain. So that created the chemistry, that created more of the feelings associated with that, and it just keeps looping and looping and looping. Sometimes, and this is where I was starting to segue into, sometimes it takes someone outside of yourself to help you break free of that by saying something to you or doing something that really helps wake you up. You need some water on the face kind of a moment, right? One of the things that I love teaching at HigherWay U is teaching you how to do that on your own. That's where the power is. And that takes me back to the very beginning of this video when I said there's a place, there's a threshold, I truly believe, where you can really live free from the ongoing, circulating, taking up so much rent in your head kind of thoughts, that there really is a place where you can experience that freedom. And that's what I love empowering our students at HigherWay U with, is learning how to get out of those mindsets, out of those traps, out of those cycles of thinking and feeling, which, like I said, is like a cocktail that you mix and you're drinking all the time, and be free of that so that you can begin to observe thoughts that are coming and going. And if you do get hooked, how you can let go quicker and sooner and faster to relieve. When I left Mom just a few minutes ago over the phone, we were talking, she talked about how much relief she felt. Why? Because she was thinking a different thought. Not because I did anything, but because she was thinking a different thought. And with thinking a different thought, she was able to feel a different way. Now, she is the bartender of her own inner world. She began to mix herself another cocktail, and that one was a relief cocktail. So, I tell you what, it's really fascinating how our bodies, spirit, soul, body, it's all interconnected. And freedom, my friend, is there if we truly desire to see and grow and see how we can be free. And again, like I said, this is what we teach at HigherWay U, and I love this. I love people feeling relief and being free. So dinner should be ready in just a few minutes. I'm going to head home. I will see you soon. I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.